Coach?
Yeah. First and foremost, we would like to thank the ReliaQuest Bowl. This has been an absolute first-class experience. Our players are having a tremendous time down here in Tampa. We got to get out of some colder than usual weather up there in Mississippi, and so it's been very enjoyable for us. We're headed to the practice field next, but first and foremost, it's been an amazing experience up to this point, and we can't thank the Bowl Committee enough. Obviously, we are extremely excited to represent the Southeastern Conference. We're playing a phenomenal opponent who, when you turn on the film, plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. I know our guys have a deep respect and admiration for how they play the game. I mean, ultimately, we're going to have a good time here, but there's two hard-nosed football teams going to line up and hopefully put on a good show for all the fans in attendance. Obviously, we are very appreciative of all the different signs of support for Coach Leach and his influence on the game. The thing we've talked about and Coach Leach's family has expressed to us, obviously, we don't want to get lost in this. This is ultimately a reward for our players for the job they've done this year and the success that they've had. 8-4 football team. They've done a tremendous job this year, and this is a reward for their efforts because we would not be here if it was not for the work and success that they put in all year round. And so we're excited for one more opportunity. Obviously, the best way we can honor Coach Leach is to go out there and play the way he expects us to play, and that's with tremendous effort and toughness. And we know that Illinois is going to show up and do just that, and so we're excited to share the field with them.
Great. Questions? Leo?
For both coaches, and Coach Billman, you first because you've had the most experience with this. You both talked about the rewards of coming to a bowl game. How do you balance the rewards with staying focused on the matter at hand?
Very cool.
Yeah, definitely not difficult to reward the players. I mean, obviously, all the different bowl events that are put on, it's easy for them. The harder part is probably making sure they know they're getting ready to play a football game, too. Now, it's really convenient for us. You turn on the film of your opponent, and your players realize pretty quick that we got a heck of a football game coming up January 2nd, and so that's made it easier to balance it out. But echoing what Coach said, obviously your early practices are more like an early spring. You're working the developmental guys who need extra work. The guys who played all year, they're coming off a long season, so you're getting them back to 100% healthy. And then obviously as you get closer to the game, you ramp it up and get into more of your normal routine. We're headed out for our practice this afternoon. It's a Tuesday game week for us, and so we'll see if we didn't enjoy ourselves too much last night.
Zach, for you guys, I know it was just announced that Emmanuel Forbes will be playing, Cam Young, LaQuincy Sharp, a bunch of guys that are headed to the NFL that decided to play in this game. I guess how important is it, for this team to, like you said, honor Mike Leach, and also how much of a motivating factor has that been for some of these guys to come back and play this game?
I just think it speaks to the guys we got in our program, guys who like playing football, guys who want to play for each other, the other guys in the locker room. I think it says a lot about those guys individually. They're football guys. They're Mississippi State guys. And if we're going to line the ball up, roll the ball out there and line up and play, they want to be with their teammates and finish the season off with them. And those are obviously guys you love having in your locker room, and you appreciate all that they've done for your program.
Just to follow up on that real quick, you guys were dealing with a lot after Coach Leach's death. I guess how's the team kind of responded? What's practice kind of been like, since then as you kind of move back into game form?
Yeah, practice has been good. I think our guys like getting back into a sense of normalcy and routine. Obviously, anytime you go through a loss like that, that's what family's for, and that's what a football team is. And so it's been really good for us to all get back together, spend a whole lot of time together, and go to work. And so.
Victor?
Coach Arnett, Will Rogers, he's put up some pretty good numbers this year in the air raid system. Is he unfairly labeled a system quarterback?
Yeah, I think he probably is. I mean, obviously you judge a quarterback by how they perform and typically the record of your team. And so since he's been the starter, we won a lot of games, and he's played really, really well when he gets us into the right plays. I think I can't speak to every offensive system, but I know in the last 3 years learning under Coach Leach, he gives a quarterback a tremendous amount of freedom at the line of scrimmage to really check into whatever he wants. and Will's got to be up there as one of the best to ever do it in his system. So, yeah, I think it'd probably be an unfair label.
For both coaches, again, Coach Zach, we'll start with you. The portal, great coming in. Now you got to worry about going out. How much of a double-edged sword has that become?
Yeah, it's the same for everyone, right? Obviously, you know, it's a new day and age of college football. Players have opportunities. If you know, there's a better fit for them and a better opportunity for them, then they certainly have the right to go and do that. And obviously, you have the right to recruit and try to improve your team. And so, yeah, it's a reality we're all dealing with.
For Coach Arnett, following up the same question to him, you know, players' availability for this game as well as health. And on top of that, how have you yourself handled the transition to head coach and still being defensive coordinator and getting ready for this game and being involved in the offense?
Yeah, well, obviously, we expect everyone who's on the trip to be available to play, and so we're at full strength as well. And obviously, it's been a learning experience, to say the least. Right? Obviously, got a lot trying to prepare for a great offense. Still being the defensive coordinator, call the defense, but then obviously also responsible for seeing the whole program. Fortunately for myself, got to learn under obviously one of the best to ever do it under Coach Leach, and just doing my best to try to replicate what he would do.
Zach, with this game, you guys are looking to, you know, win 9 games in a season, first time since 2017. I guess, how important is that in terms of carrying, you know, the momentum from signing day with a win here into the offseason?
Yeah, it's always better to go in an off season with a win than a loss, right? Kind of as much fun as you have on these bowl trips, you always remember how it ends, right? So yeah, that's important. Obviously, we did a really nice job. Our assistant coaches, I've failed to mention them up to this point so far, but they've probably been the biggest benefit to me throughout this whole process is how good those guys have done, and they did a heck of a job. We held our signing class together. Pretty much everyone was committed, signed with us, and it would be a gigantic springboard into the offseason to leave with a win. But we know it's going to be a heck of a challenge because of the opponent we got to face.
Go right down here.
For both coaches, again, and Coach Brett, we'll start with you. Was there a play or a call during a game this year that you just had to laugh at, or, and I know this is a bad analogy, or you've been pulling your hair out?
Yeah, I had pretty lucky. Obviously, Coach Leach gave me complete freedom to call whatever I want, whenever I want, and so there's probably been a few too many zero pressures and some really bad times, and it's gone the wrong way. But yeah, so whatever hair I have, yeah, I definitely pulled it out there. Yeah, and I just got to say, if these guys can build upon and improve upon that defense, I feel bad for the rest of the Big Ten because that's been some of the best defense. As a fan of just defense and aggressive defense, the way it's supposed to be played, the job that they did this year, I mean, it's fun to watch. I know our guys have enjoyed watching it just on film because that's how defense is supposed to be played. They've done a phenomenal job.
All right, Leo, last question.
And for both coaches, and Coach Brett, we'll start with you. When you start this season, your goal is to be one of those 4 teams in the college football playoffs. When it doesn't happen, Tampa, 80 degrees on New Year's Day, that's not a bad alternative, is it?
No.
I mean, our program, obviously there's a particular game on Thanksgiving Day that we prioritize over all others, and our guys handled business and got the win in that one. And obviously, as a reward, it got them to be here on January 2nd in Tampa and this beautiful weather, and we're certainly enjoying ourselves, and then we get to play a heck of an opponent again. So, you know, I'm going to echo it again, right? Bowl games are about the players, right? It is a reward for the season they've had, the work that they've put in, and the success they've had. And both teams have had incredibly successful seasons, and they should be, you know, the players should be commended for that. And I know as coaches, right, we're honored to just be the guys who get to work with them on a daily basis, and we're excited to watch them line up and strap it up one more time and go out on January 2nd.